Hi, we're back. Ralph and Lonnie D. Meekus, authors of the Planetary Calendar, and we're going to bring you the forecast for October 2025. So, we post them on YouTube, Planetary Calendar Astrology, on Fridays for the coming week. Don't miss out on this look ahead, and we'll get right to it.
We say in the overall, hopefully you have your calendar, right? I mean, you got your calendars, because how can you get through the year without your calendars? And we talk about that, how this is a much less eventful month than September. It's just much more relaxed. The new moon really kind of gets us started. This is the time of year when the days are all getting shorter. It's a really good time to think of what were the resources you had during the year and how are you going to manage them now? Because it's Libra, it's about the scales. This was the marketplace. It's the time of year when you had all the things you had harvested, you brought down to the marketplace, and you made a deal.
And remember, this year we had these two eclipses.
Right.
We ended up with the new moon eclipse, which is a new starting point to start over again. So assessing what you've gathered is an appropriate thing to do after that eclipse period, too.
Exactly.
And start anew.
If you have the calendar, there is a whole little section about Halloween, about the significance of Halloween, which is very cool. So enjoy. So writing this one was a lot of fun. In the 26th, Lonnie wrote the forecast for the 26th. So I think it's great. So you better get your calendar soon.
We'll see. Be nice.
Be nice.
Be kind.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun. So on the Wednesday, what's happening on the Wednesday,
we always
Lonnie?
write everything together anyway.
We do. It's true. But it has to do with who leads and who makes it work.
That's right.
Make sure it makes sense. Oh, this makes sense.
Boy, he threw down the gauntlet, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So.
October 1st, a social day. Look at all those aspects to the moon that are lined up above the number. Now, remember that the moon is in Capricorn for most of the day.
Yes.
Or the morning.
1 p.m.
About 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the Pacific coast. That's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast. So a good part of the day, the moon is in Capricorn. So again, we're extending this get a lot of things done kind of energy into October, which is a good thing. And then we've got that Mercury square Jupiter.
Right.
So...
And also, just realize
be careful how you talk to people.
Watch out what could pop out of your mouth. Or watch out when you're on the keyboard that you don't hit stuff like accident, like...
Reply to all.
Yeah, right, exactly. Think twice before you send that email, okay?
Well, yeah.
Just saying.
That big secret could get out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Then on the 2nd, we have an annotation there. Those annotations are changing for 2026 too. They turn into an asterisk. So you don't have to go to a letter. All you have to do is find the day up in the key, because we've put the date there with an asterisk. And on this day, it's Sunshine Moon. I don't know why there's not a white circle on there. Probably Mars had something to do with it. Ralph?
I think it had to do with the aspects, because it says the Libra Sun is trine the Aquarius Moon and square Mars in Scorpio, aka the sign of the eagle. Before the full moon, you can accomplish a great deal by finding partners who are good at taking the initiative and by sublimating your own needs for those of the group. Interesting. Remember, we're in Libra now. This is really about our cooperative efforts. How are you going to partner? How are you going to work in cooperation with others?
On to week 2, beginning with October 5th, and we'll wind up with October 11th. The 5th starts out with this social day and a short void, of course, that starts after the workday, so hopefully that won't even affect you. In fact, it's not a workday, it's a Sunday, although some people do work on Sunday.
That's true, and it's going to be in Pisces all day long until like 9:45 at night, so this is really a Piscean day. Pisces, I think, is one of the nicest signs to have on a Sunday anyway, or a day when you have off, because it is, it's about relaxing and dissolving a little bit and being able to watch the game, or
refocus yourself, find your inspiration.
Right. Right. Have a glass of wine.
Unplug for a little while, if that's possible.
And then we go on to the next day, the 6th. This is the full moon. This is the full moon at 14 degrees Aries. So it means the other side is 14 degrees Libra. And we said something significant about it. I remember we said that last week's forecast. The full moon at 14 degrees Aries Libra, about 12 hours after Mercury enters Scorpio, aka the eagle, it's filled with martial energy. So watch your temper, tune out the static, and drive defensively. Now, if you got the day planner, you can actually look at the chart and you'll understand what we're talking about there. The Mars energy is real strong here. And remember, you're talking Aries on one side, when the martial signs, Libra on the other side, Venus on the other side. And remember, these are two sides of the same coin. You know, to put it simply, like we call the ruling detriment signs of one is the ruling signs of one is the detriment sign of the other, and they flip. So they're really two sides of the coin. So when you get this polarity going on, there's the potential for, you know, great things you can be done together, and people also having conflicts. So use this energy, but like we said, drive defensively, watch your temper.
Well, and the 7th is kind of an interesting day, too, with Jupiter squaring the moon and Mercury square Pluto, all while the moon is void of course for a long time. And you'll see that we corrected this in 2026. This just has the black box on it because the other aspects sort of overrode the importance of that long void of course. But the void of course is all day from 11:30 in the morning about to 10:15 at night. So, and that's Pacific time. So the moon is void of course in Aries, not a good place for it to be void of course, with that impetuous energy that we were talking about before. And that that Mercury square Pluto you could really get yourself in a little bit of hot water. So watch that day. For 2026, that black box will still be there, but there'll be another black frame around it. So it will draw your attention to the fact that there is an abnormally long void of course there to double trip you up.
Yeah, exactly. Those frames are going to show you the void of course. We try to make as many symbols as possible within the calendar that are easy to read, so you understand that this is the lunation, this is the ingress, these are the the easy days, the circles, the black boxes are the challenging days.
We got your back.
Yeah, the calendar's designed to be easy to read, to whatever level of knowledge you have. Now on the 8th, you have a bunch of aspects below the moon. You got the moon in Taurus, aka Bovis, the cow all day long, so it's a very steady day. It's and now we got the sun and the moon both in Venus ruled signs too. This is a very Venusian day, but it's a very practical day.
And Venus is sextile Jupiter.
Yeah, and Venus is sextile Jupiter. So it's actually a great day. When you have a lot of squares going on, it's actually a great day to get things done, because you're okay with saying, I may have to bump into some stuff on my way. I may have to overcome challenges on my way. Well, that's how you get stuff done. It's the squares that make things happen.
Well, and so Venus on a Taurus moon day could get you in trouble, especially Venus-Jupiter contacts.
Yes.
Remember, they can often indicate problems with metabolizing sugar when you find that in a natal chart. But you can also find that in the transit chart that, you might want to overeat with those carbs, or you might want to overdo it with the sugar, or God forbid, overdo it with the alcohol. These are all sugar-related issues. So make sure you take a little extra care with that, Jupiter conjunction.
And just remember, a pint of ice cream is not a single serving size.
It isn't?
No, not even.
And if you stand up when you're eating it, there's not even any calories in it.
You eat it over the sink. No, it's not a single serving size. Carbs are not really our friends. So, okay. And then we're on to the 9th.
The 9th.
It's all social signs. It's all aspects to the moon. The moon's going to change sign late in the day.
I was going to say, remember, that's the Taurus moon.
So still the Taurus moon is still this very kind of emotionally satisfying, comfortable moon. It's very much in the comfort zone. It's all nice aspects. Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus all make nice aspects to the moon. As you go later in the day, you may find more of your contacts are through electronics because it's Uranus and Neptune, but generally a very, very nice day.
Thursday night football. Get a gang together. That's a social day. Do something social.
Yes. I think there should be snacks, especially with that Taurus moon.
Right.
Good snacks. Don't bring the cheap snacks. Bring the good snacks. And then on the 10th, it's a very simple
10th
day.
is like, ho-hum.
Yeah.
I'm sure the moon in Gemini isn't thrilled about that one lonely aspect there, but they usually like a little more action, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you're starting to get, what you're getting now is you're starting to get the effect of the of that sun trine moon the next day, because the moon's going to be in Gemini the whole next day on the Saturday. So as the moon's in Gemini now and the sun's in Libra, that natural interaction between the air signs is already starting to go into effect.
An interesting thing to watch out for, because the moon sign on the day is not reflective of where the moon is for the most of the day. So really pay attention to the numbers of the moon changing signs.
Exactly. And that's pretty much this week.
Well, October seems to be flying by. Let's get ready to do October 12th through the 18th.
Now, the Sunday, the 12th, is very easy. There's very little bit going on. There's very simple aspects. So whatever carried over from the day before is going to happen the next day is really what you're going to feel. And the next day, the 13th, that Monday, is when you're going to feel it, because on that day, all kinds of stuff happens. Venus enters Libra. Pluto goes direct. Also, at the same time, you have Venus, as it enters Libra, it's going to be opposite Neptune at the first degree of Aries. So there's a lot of stuff shifting, and there's a bunch of social aspects going on to the moon. And the moon is in the sign of the Crab in Cancer, so it's a very strong moon. And the sun, of course, the sun is square the moon. So there's a lot of, it's not going to be the easiest Monday you've run into in a while. There's going to be a lot of issues about what's good for me, what's good for us, am I being fair?
But you might have an opportunity to pair up with some of those planets that are making nice aspects to that Cancer moon. We've got a trine to Mars, conjunction to Jupiter, and a trine to Saturn, because you're going to be looking for partners come Tuesday. Yes. Who you can partner up with, because that white circle definitely has partners written all over it. We've got a lineup above the number. We've got Leo. Leo doesn't do anything without an audience. The moon in Leo. And we've got Venus trining Pluto and Venus trining Uranus. So Venus is about partnering, and it just looks like a really good day for a project that involves other people.
Yeah, the first day, which is, the moon is in the sign of the Crab, Cancer, all day long, and then the second day the moon is in Leo all day long. It really has two very different feelings to it. You're going to think, what happened yesterday? Oh, we're on a different page today. Now, when you get on to Wednesday, the only aspects going on is the moon is now sextile the sun, which is always nice from Leo, because it's Leo to Libra. And then you've got a square to the moon from Mercury and a square to Mars. So you may find that like little things are challenging. Things like related to maybe to your kids or to the people you work with very intimately. Mercury and Mars have a lot to do with kind of your minions. Let's put it that way. Your minions. That's really Mercury and Mars. They're the ones who go out and take care of stuff, and they go do errands for you, and they go to the bank, and it's Mercury and Mars is the one who, in the middle of the night takes the trash out, kind of like, they're not worried about being eaten by a wolf. They'll go out.
I look at this and I think about tripping, either tripping over your tongue or physically tripping.
That too.
You've got the square to Mercury and you've got the square to Mars. So just be a little bit careful, be on your toes a little bit.
Now on the 16th, we're looking at the black box and I'm thinking, that seems a little severe.
I think it's this square to Uranus that was a particular challenge for here, because they're both in the moon or in Mercury ruled signs. So this communication and trip up stuff that's coming from the day before is kind of adding to that. Plus the fact the moon will be void, of course, on the West Coast for the whole morning and on the East Coast into like 2:00 in the afternoon. So it is a void, and whenever Jupiter is squaring anybody, it's a day for caution. So
yeah, exactly. And then on the Friday, the moon has moved into Virgo, the goddess of the harvest. It's sextile to Mercury, sextile to Mars, both planets that Virgo happens to like. So it's a good day for getting like little errands done. It's a great day to go out and take care. If you have lots of errands to do, lots of little stuff nearby, great day for that.
And you're over that little tripping over your tongue or your feet day.
Exactly.
So. And the boys are still getting along.
And they're still getting along, exactly. So, and we know we have a fast-moving Mercury this month. So things like communications, things, anything to do, mercurial things, paperwork, filling documents out will tend to go fast, will tend to go well for you. You always notice that when Mercury's fast. It's a great time to write stuff. It's a great time to fill out forms.
It's also glib.
It's glib. Yes, exactly.
And then it's going to go into Sagittarius next. So
yeah, exactly.
Talk about
later.
glib.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not there yet.
No.
So
29th, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So then we have the 18th, and there we have a bunch of nice social aspects. The moon's going to be in Virgo all day until 9 o'clock p.m., 9:01 actually. So closer to midnight on the East Coast. So it's pretty much a Virgo day. Makes a nice sextile to Jupiter, a trine to Uranus, and a trine to Pluto. But it's opposition to Saturn and an opposition to Neptune. So it's a bit of a mixed
And the moon
bag.
doesn't have too much help because that parallel between Venus and Neptune could be good, could be bad.
Yes.
Not too strong.
So it's the early part of the week you got to watch out for. Once you get later in the week, you're cool.
Right. So let's move on to the week of the 19th to the 25th. And we start out out of the blocks with a white circle day on Sunday and the moon in Libra.
So nice. What a nice way to start this week, which is really good.
And Mercury and Mars have been kind of holding hands all along since the 15th or so, a little before that.
Yep.
And now they're in a conjunction. So they're on the same page. That's a happy day for communications and physical activity. And then Venus is also conjunct the moon in Libra.
Yep. And remember,
all the main
right.
personal
Yes.
planets are represented.
And Mars is in sign of Scorpio, aka the eagle. It's a sign of feminine power. It's Mars' sign of feminine power. It's a very strong position for Mars. It's very strategic. On the 20th, very, very easy day. Thus, the moon is going to be square Jupiter. It's not the worst thing in the world. Very, very easy day. The 21st, though, that's the new moon. And this one's a real interesting one because so many of the planets now, you have the sun, you have Mars in Scorpio, you have considered a ruling position, a powerful social position. You have Venus in Libra, the scales, a powerful social position. They're both really visible, right? At the same time, you're in the last degrees of Libra. And you have Jupiter in the sign of the crab, which is its exalted position. It means the position which the social bodies are most connected to. It connects to the moon. So this is a powerfully feminine time that we're here, but it's also very identifiable. Many times, people who tend to be very successful will have a great number of planets in these defined roles. So it's very easy to recognize them, and we're going to have a sense at this new moon that it's real clear who the players are in any situation. Things are going to seem very identifiable, especially in the relationship between men and women, and also anything related to the courts. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on related to the courts at this time, I believe.
Well, and check your calendar if you want to remember the degree. The degree of the new moon is 28 degrees Libra. So it's right at the end of that cycle. So, the new moon often represents that break point between, when you have a new starting point. So because it's so close to the end of the sign, we have multiple starting energies going on now.
So consider, what do you have around that part? What do you have around 28 degrees Libra? If you have a hot spot there, pay attention.
Or 28 cardinal.
Right, or 28 cardinal, but really 28 Libra. So, and then on the new moon, we passed the new moon, we have
We're on the 22nd now.
The sun enters the eagle, aka Scorpio, at 8:50 p.m. on the same day that Neptune backs into Pisces. Tried out Aries, said, this is
Not
interesting. We're gonna step back into Pisces, related to the dolphins and the sea, because we're Neptune after all. And it was so comfortable over there. Don't get used to it though. It's going to hang out there for a while. It's going to move back into Aries again. Yeah, and if you are a meteor watcher, on the Wednesday, the 22nd and the 23rd are the Orionid meteors, as in Orion. Now on the 23rd, it's all social. Everything's to the moon. The moon's is going to be in Scorpio all day up until 9:18 p.m. on the west coast. So then it moves into Sagittarius, the Archer. But it's all aspects to the moon.
After a 5-minute void, of course,
Right.
you're welcome.
You're welcome, exactly. So, but aspects of conjunction to Mars, conjunction to Mercury, trine Jupiter, trine Saturn, trine Neptune, and simply an opposition to Uranus, which will take place in when it goes into Sagittarius. So,
And the first full day of the moon in Sag on the 24th is a little bit of a mixed bag because we've got a Mercury trine Jupiter, but then we have the Sun square Pluto. So if, your ruler is Jupiter, good for you. If your ruler is Pluto,
yes.
hang in there.
You and Pluto are like this, hang in there. And there is a sextile between the Moon and Pluto, so that's that's a nice thing. But it's a good day for communication, though. It's a good day to kind of plan ideas strategically because of that Jupiter Mercury connection.
I love that Sag moon. It gets you outside it gets you outside of your usual way of thinking and has the potential to sort of broaden your emotional depth. So
you're going to like the fact that on Saturday we still have a Sag moon. It's making a nice sextile to Venus, so it sounds like a good day for shopping. And there's a trine between Mercury and Saturn, so maybe it's about shopping for winter clothes.
Or wheedling Saturn to open up the credit line.
The credit line a little bit. Could be.
Instead of being so frugal all the time.
We will see.
Although,
yes,
I am the biggest bargain girl you ever want to meet.
Oh, that's the truth.
Yes.
Thinner chart. Exactly. Now, on the Sunday, the 26th, it's a nice, easy day. There's a sun sextile moon. Very, very pleasant. The day is kind of split because the first part of the day, the moon's in Sagittarius, and then it's going to go into Aquarius. But it's a very nice day, very easygoing day, which is good for a Sunday. Where the Monday is kind of interesting because on Monday, the moon now is in Capricorn all day, but there is a nice Mars trine Jupiter. This is a real good aspect. And so it's going to flow, this is going to be active on the 26th all through the way to the 28th. It's a physically very productive thing. When you have to get physical stuff done, you have to get out and about, you have to encounter people. It's just great for that.
Well, and a Capricorn moon is great for getting a lot done. But when I look at that Mars trine Jupiter, I say, try to get out there and use some energy, do some kind of exercise program or sports, or at least take a good walk.
Yeah.
Because Jupiter rules the muscles, Mars is your energy, and they've got a nice trine. So take advantage of that. Maybe a lunch break walk or something like that.
Exactly. Now, on the Tuesday, we actually have a letter there, and you wonder, well, there's a letter. There's nothing on the dotted line, which means planetary aspects. It's all those lunar aspects with the moon in Capricorn. Oh.
We figure we point out the days that are going to trip you up. We should also point out the days that should give you joy. Get out there, be social.
Everyone wants to encounter everybody else that day. Everyone wants to be engaged and really take advantage of that. The only one that is not positive is the opposition to Jupiter, but all the other planets. I guess that's early in the day. That's the only aspect that's working against you, and it's that's a minor thing compared to all these planets that are working in your favor.
Well, and remember that these aspects appear above the number in the order in which they occur.
Right.
So some of them are occurring when the moon is still in Capricorn, and then others don't start until Aquarius. So you've got this steady flow of energy, and Aquarius is such a social energy anyway. That's really the key to the whole day.
The two planets really are in many ways. Saturn, the Saturn rulerships per se. Those are the social positions. One Capricorn, you might say, is grandma who knows everybody and knows everything, and Aquarius is grandpa who knows all the news and keeps up on everything. I mean, these are the two very social things because they've had long lives, and so they know it's important to stay in touch.
See, and I think of it just slightly differently. I think that under the Capricorn moon, you're the one that's known. And in the Aquarius moon, it's about the people you know. So it's not until you have the reputation, which you build in the Capricorn energy, that you find your sort of community, which is found in that Aquarian energy.
Well, this could be a discussion that runs much longer than this segment. So we're going to go on to the next planet.
Well, I don't know about that grandpa thing.
I like that one myself.
Okay.
So, and then on the 29th, you're going to have Mercury enter Sagittarius. You have a bunch of aspects going on that day.
4:01 a.m.
Yeah, and Mercury entering Sagittarius is a lovely position, especially in the home life, because they have a tremendous sense of humor. They're very optimistic. Whenever you feel like you're getting a little bit glum, they will find some way to brighten you up. Don't worry about that. Mercury in Sagittarius is just a great position at home, and it's considered a detriment position, but that means because it's a home position, it's a family position.
He's looking for some favors because I have Mercury in Sagittarius natally.
It is a lovely position to live with. It really is.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, and then you got Mars trine Saturn, you got Mercury trine Neptune, both good things. You have the Sun square Moon, and Mercury opposite Neptune or Aquarius. So it's a bit of, in terms of, it's a turning point day in many ways. You're at a turning point where you're going to be changing directions here. So be aware of that.
And the reason that the black box is on there is tumult.
Yes.
Turbulence. There's just a lot going on there. So you'll find that it might be a little hard to keep things straight because everybody's going off in a different direction. You got Mars, you got Saturn, you got Mercury, you got Neptune, you got Uranus, you got the Sun, you got the Moon. There's just a lot going on there. So we put that there so you don't think that that's a great busy day to start something new.
Exactly.
You're going to lose track of something.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of turbulence, but change. Realize that you're kind of turning corners here. So be aware of that. Be aware that you may have to change your direction a bit.
And with Mercury entering Sagittarius, the sign of a good humor,
yes.
At least you'll have a little bit of a perspective on it.
Exactly. Halloween is actually kind of a nice day because you have the Sun trine Moon, you have the Mercury parallel Pluto. You do have a square to Uranus and a square to Mercury.
I think that
moon.
Defines Halloween.
It does.
Mercury square
the moon.
And then Uranus square the moon. I mean,
and the moon of Pisces. Boom. The moon of Pisces. Imagination. A great day for very imaginative costumes. So make sure you don't very imaginative costumes, and definitely read in the calendar our little section about the significance of Halloween and why people why they dress children up in costumes and the shifting seasons and such, because it's really a very interesting history. So that was this week. Oh, and then on the 1st, let's look at the 1st. There's nothing happening on the 1st. There's no aspects on the 1st at all. We should
goodness.
It's All Saints Day. We should have actually put a
Pisces moon.
Yeah, that we should have put a picture there saying there's no aspects. Yeah, we didn't just forget it.
We didn't make a mistake. So that's it for now. Come see us on Planetary Calendar Astrology on YouTube and visit us at planetarycalendar.com in case you haven't gotten your 2026 calendar yet.
It's going to be a very interesting year ahead, so you want to be prepared.
Is.
So until next time, be well.